God. Is it rolling? All right, okay. All right, Aquarius, here we go. Back with the jump off. I'm back in the middle. No, it's in the middle. Damn. That's not the song. Let me tell y'all something. This YouTube shit is so boring. It's not boring, because you know what I'm saying? Like, I see how people can get caught up into the midst of it, but I can't play no music. So I'm just like, I'm going to need every celebrity to sign a paper. I'm telling you. I need you to sign a paper so I can play your music over here, because I don't need you trying to get copyright infringement. So I can take it to Google themselves and they can see it and be like, look now, hey, because this ain't gonna work. But y'all got Father Cups over here at this moment. And it's reverse on the bottom of the deck. I'm going to still shuffle, but that was on the bottom of the deck. So some of y'all may be dealing with a water sign, or maybe with your emotions, or you could be dealing with the father of your child, or somebody could be very, very, very apathetic in this moment and don't give a fuck about nobody's feelings. Whew. I'm just going to scoot that to the side. Jesus Christ. That's what it was giving me, though. Let's see what's going on, Aquarius. But if it is parenting, though, I don't know why this coming up. In a reading I said back, I was like, you could tell that there was some challenges between baby mama, baby father a long time ago. I seen that, though. You're very close to achieving your goal. A new start is coming. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to balance this journey out, but I ain't gonna be flipping my wrist like that. Let's go. Your commitment is being tested. Ooh, I've been saying this for a lot of people who in a sense of relationship. And I told you I just don't do relationship readings at all. It's more of everybody. I don't like talking about relationships because really I get to flipping and I don't know how to stop it. And it just be telling me anything. And I just be like, ooh. Expect a powerful change. Girl, I'm so sick and tired of seeing Aries. We gonna see. This say it's time to take action. Confidence. Girl, did the camera move? It did. Girl, okay, here it is. We finna see. I'm gonna shuffle them and take them back because I'm sick of them. But it may be meaning for you. But if it comes out, it comes out. Girl, let it move one more time. Let me just unplug this camera. There we go. Because I'm trying to charge up my phone too. There we go. I'm trying to charge up my phone. I'm sick and tired of the Aries coming out. I'm telling y'all. We know. It's in Mercury. We know. The energy is gaining momentum. Shit. Okay, well, we ain't gonna take all these because I'm not gonna read every last one on. It say adjustments are required. I like that. Then it say the energy is gaining momentum. The one that you hear me say that came out, it say hold your vision and a time for healing. We go over this at the end. I like this though, healing. Because Aquarius really don't be honest about certain things that they need. And y'all can hide certain things and kind of low-key avoid certain things instead of addressing them head on. Because y'all be trying to be logical and be understanding of certain shit that really needs to be addressed and nipped off in the bud. Instead of just saying, okay, well, I see they acting like this because of that. Or going the opposite way and not trying to be in a state of listening. Because that's what logic does. Logic type people, they can kind of rationalize certain emotions and offenses or different things. Instead of just being emotionally honest. So that sometimes can be y'all biggest critic. All right. You are very close to achieving your goal. Let's see what this is about. This gibbous moon, almost a full moon, but at the same time, everything coming to a sense of alignment. Let's go. Let's do the shuffling. Let's go. Look what I got. Look what I got. Hey. Okay. Let's see. You're very close to your goal. I like all these because these cards kind of just speak for themselves in that moment. They really do. You got Capricorn energy reversed. Pisces energy. Shit. Eight of Pentacles reversed. Strength in reverse. Yes, yes. That's that I'm strong. That's the ego. Not knowing how to start over. Like, I don't give a stop. The devil, the sun in reverse, and the moon. Yes, you're very close to achieving your goal. It could be a sense of, you hear me say, this newness, like what's done in the dark, what's coming to the light. This could be you like independently working on something or releasing yourself from the sense of always trying to be in that position of, this could be a personal situation, don't know. But it's kind of like the goat can't climb mountains by itself, but at the same time, it's knowing how to like, this is where you hear me say that logic, like seeing both things, like you hear me say applying empathy to certain understandings, where you hear me say night and dark both goes the same. Just because of the different perspective that this may be dark, it's still the moon and the sun is the same thing. So that's why I say you're kind of very close to a sense of a dream. You got Three of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles reversed, and the Son of Wands. It's that gift of gab, knowing how to speak to get the things that you want, or put yourself in the beginning to be able to have smooth sellings for certain things. But the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, this is where you hear me say getting tired along the way, like spending detail or being meticulous in certain areas of certain things that you want. But he said Son of One, though, like he gonna do it. It's a he or she, it doesn't matter. Like, you gonna do it. It's kind of like referred to Page of Wands, but this that gift of gab, like knowing how to speak and say what it is that you want, like that finesse type energy. I like it though. That's why I like this though. This really is though. I like this though, but it's seeing how both goes into play, especially though. You're gonna say, for is that though? Because I'm telling you, got the devil and the sun. These two go hand in hand, but because that sun is reversed, you don't see it. You don't see it. That's why I say you don't see it. It's kind of like have faith. That's why I said it's like have faith in an individual or something or someone or instances or self. Being able to soar, to put into certain things. I like it. But along the way, it's just to tame the lion, like to work on that sense of strength, utilizing those certain things. Because you hear me say the male lion is not the best hunter. We just being honest. You can Google it. It's the lioness that hunts, but at the same time, you always see her. If you look at the like Animal Planet, do y'all watch that? Just go watch. Type in a lion when y'all get off this, like a lion hunting or a lioness hunting. Watch the difference in how they hunt, and then watch how he interacts with his friends. And you see her just lying over there like she just, oh, I'm so. That's what he do. You know, like that type of energy. Like that's what they do. But at the same time, that's what the nigga do. You know what I'm saying? In most cases, when it comes to a sense of relationship, we be having our partners to where we just be like, no, da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you may be dating somebody that's extra, or you may be extra in certain instances. I don't know. When it's going out to certain things that you want. A new star is coming. I like that. Okay, come on now, Empress. I think that's it. Okay, all right. Ooh, you got the Four of Pentacles here. This that earth sign energy. This that Taurus holding on to certain shit. That's that grudges. It could be grudges, greed, or being fixated on certain things, or just trying to make things work. That's why I said that forcefulness. That's what it was kind of giving me though. I said especially with that lion. Boom. So this is where you hear me say, this is where not being emotionally honest. You got the Daughter of Wands reverse. You got the Justice reverse. You got the Eight of Cups reverse. You got the Empress reverse. You got Emperor and the Ten of Pentacles. Emperor reverse and the Ten of Pentacles. Ooh wee. That's why I said that's there. This is about that coexisting, that balance. You hear me say that feminine and masculine energy, or whatever the case may be. Like that Daughter one, she could be kind of like which is the No, the son is the knights, the daughters, the pages. My bad. But in those instances, it does give me like this sense of energy to where you hear me say feisty. Somebody feisty and a firecracker, or whatever the case may be. They don't know how to balance out being kind and it's like masculine. So say for instance, if you are a woman where you operate in a sense of independence or always you or you coexisting with a woman or you have this or whatever the case may be, it's kind of like, oh, I'm gonna do this because I gotta take care of mine. It's that type of energy. And as well, you hear me say, for the masculine energy. So it's like this fluctuating battle between both, like not being emotionally understanding of a sense with self, especially when it comes to self-sabotaging behavior and like recognizing like, okay, well, this is shattering all the pieces. Like if I can't see certain things, it's kind of like somebody's like purposely saying, if I don't see it or I don't have to deal with it, I don't care. Like this is like Gemini. Like this was kind of like the Gemini reading. Ooh. But this is what it is, though. I'm telling you, it's like that needs some sort of balance and distributing out what is black and white. What do you consider black as white? What is right is wrong? What is good? What works for you and what doesn't? This is all about finding out that will alignment and what works in your sense of house. Because you have the Empress and the Emperor and the Ten of Pentacles. This is the balance of the egos where you hear me say trying to fluctuate what works, because the Emperor is in reverse, so it's like being uprooted from a sense of like maybe it's you to learn to be a little more loving, kind, understanding, releasing and relinquishing that sense of control when it comes to the family dynamic and holding things down together. That's what it kind of is. I don't know if it's, I'm just saying you, but you can, if it's your partner, you can cuss them out and say that I didn't say it. Okay. Your commitment is being tested. Let's see what the first quarter moon is. Ooh wee. Ooh shit, my leg itch. Oh, girl, I'm not finna pick that. Oh. I dropped one more goddamn thing. He didn't come out all the way. Let's see. Alright. Your commitment is being tested. Oh, look at the lovers. That's why I said birds fly south for the winter. Do y'all stay in the south or you trying to travel? Ten of Cups. Yes. Do y'all stay in the south? Or you moving towards the south, or you thinking about a sense of travel? But that's why I said it's like moving to an elevated space. You got Father of Swords, the Father of Pentacles. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 of Pentacles, and the Daughter of Pentacles. Yeah, this is where you hear me say about being honest and accountable, where you hear me say of certain actions and behavior. It could be relationships, especially you hear me say this with kids, though. It could be hearing me say like the need to protect, critical, hypercritical. Yeah, buddy, this is the balance of the egos. That's what it is. It's between you and somebody else. It could be a parenting relationship. It could be you, a baby mama, baby daddy. Yes, yes. If this is a relationship, this is the balance of the egos where you hear me say in the home front. This quarantine. I said this, though. I did, though. This is here where you hear me say that communicating, where you hear me say that Father of Swords, he has a higher perspective. He could be very well thought out and put. And masculine energy sometimes think just because they communicating clearly, they not being passive aggressive. So you may gotta watch that in this moment or whatever the case may be. When it comes to your communicating, you may be feeling like you coming uncouth. Like you may be like getting real aggressive when it comes to communication wise, especially with this 9 of Pentacles. You hear me say that, especially with this 9 of Pentacles, like communicating is kind of like from that standpoint. You may seem like you the only one losing your cool, or this other person seem like they losing their cool. It's kind of like it's a me, and not a we. So that's what it is. I don't know if it's some sense of money, or those aspects are coexisting. You hear me say with masculine energies, especially with this Daughter of Pentacles and this Mother of Pentacles, this 4 of Cups, and the strength. That's why I said this is the battle of the egos. Like even if it's the family dynamic or structure that you come from, That's what it is. It's kind of like you're being challenged in those type of moments of being indifferent and starting over, but you got to get your ego out the way. That's why I said this is the ego. This is fluctuating from kind perspectives, understandings. Even if it's in the work front, it's all about the things that you need. It could be contractual type matters where you hear me say for it's that, because I do see a lot of pentacles. So it could be that though, finding a sense of wholeness, like competition, finding what it is that you want, restoration, black and white, reading like fine print and understanding. But if it don't got nothing to do with contracts, it could be you hear me say home, moving in with a partner, or moving to a sense of a new space, you hear me say, or just the home front in general, to where it's the egos. It's in differences of cultures. What the fuck? It is that though. I'm telling you, like, that's what it is. Because you got the Ten of Cups right here for the overall. That energy where you hear me say everybody serves a purpose. It's just where they go. Like, even if you look at it from here, like this red is distributed to that one, but it gives a part to that one, and it gives a part, like it gives to certain, it's like there. Then the green, you hear me say it hits certain areas. That's what you hear me say about those, not the 50-50 type sense of relationships and connections with certain people. And it could be intertwined. That's what it kind of gives me though. Like, this is the perfect example of the COVID, where it just seems like everybody's just crammed into one space. I'm not laughing because of that, but girl. Balance and balance, spirituality and practicality. It is full moon in Pisces. Could be old belief sets, mind frames, thinking, situations, going up with certain things. How oh shit, I can't even get my words out. What do you do? Where's your sense of time from work in the home? Because I don't see a lot of cups. Oh, it didn't come out. What's this? Daughter of Swords. Gets the book. The Hierophant. Oh, this could be marriages or relationships going through a rocky time. Look at that. It's just dark. It's not the rainbow. It's there. Look at that. Where you hear me say about the raven, the crow, the idea of that. I talked about this in my Scorpio reading. That would be a lot of it relatable. You don't even have to be, but it will be in that moment. It will be very relatable where you hear me say going through those sense of like annoyances and just not being emotionally honest, holding things in. Yeah, you might want to check out that one. Two of Wands, you got the Six of Cups reversed. And the Temperance, that's why I said it's like here. That's why I said that balance and practicality. You may have to go to the sense of the past, reflecting on what brought you a sense of peace and happiness, like what was growing in that sense of time, like what was enlightenment, like what in that moment was giving it to you. Like, this is where things need to slow down, where people try to rush things so fast to get that sense of commitment and understanding. You gotta hear me, this, and all those different things where you hear me say this could be marriages or relationships or a sense of enlightenment. But that's what it does give me though, like this here too. That's why I said this Six of Swords. That's that I said this Six of Swords, Six of Cups. That's like both things. It's canceling out nothing. So it's kind of like if you working hard at something on one end, it's kind of like something short. So it's kind of like you tipping the scales over more this way, and it's not going this way. That's why the Justice is like reversed. It is. That's why I said it's like the balancing of the egos, bringing into a sense of peace and restoration. Girl, I don't know why I'm saying it. I'm just gonna let it go. I've been saying it all our words all day, and it's been getting on my nerves. But that's what it is, though. It could be viewpoints, you hear me say, when it comes to those things. Balance between spirituality and practicality when it comes to marriages or a sense of relationships, ideas, things. You could be in a sense of religious practices or understanding. You hear me say the roles, patience, peace, in the past, like reflecting though. That's like two is the start. Like 2 and 2 is the star. Did you know if you rub 2 sticks together, you can't start a fire? I don't know why they came out, but that's what it is. It's like rubbing against each other or touching things or barely just getting to the tip of the iceberg. The energy is gaining momentum. Oh, I like that though. Okay, come back. And I rarely use this deck. But I was like, let me just use it on Aquarius. And I use it on Scorpio too. I rarely use this. Unless it's just giving me like a heavy, lethargic state. That's why I said, go watch the Scorpio reading. This is Daughter of Cups. Somebody's sensitive. Somebody is sensitive. This got something to do with kids and family. This does. It just gives me tumultuous. Can I just say this got something to do with kids and emotions? This came up with y'all for a long time. Or it could just be how somebody may be viewing you in the sense of a child. Or talking to you like you a child. You talking to somebody like they a child. Or treating somebody as such as they a child. Especially when it comes to a sense of information. You could be dating somebody older than you. Or you may be older than them in some concepts. But it's that though. Or it could be just the people that you have entertained over time. Where they have had... they may have been younger. Or they may have a young mindset. That's what it is. They got a young mindset. Yep. So that's why when you communicate or talking with people, it could be your actions or certain things. That's what it kind of gets me done. All right, okay. The energy is gaining momentum. You got 2 of Pentacles upright. 7 of Pentacles, though, reverse. The Magician here and the Chariot reverse. That's why I say, yes, if things are aggravating you at this point, or you may be going through minor annoyances, it's trying to push you to go into this metamorphosis phase where you hear me say that individuality, like partners that are learning to coexist with each other and not just be in the home front or with different people or personality aspects. It's like slowly putting you into a metamorphosis. And you hear me say, what is a caterpillar? A caterpillar can be ugly to somebody, but once it go through that rough, that hard, that callous type behavior, it puts you in a position to be able to birth something beautiful. So it could have something to do with a pregnancy or other kids or whatever the case may be, or just a matter of kids or your inner child, those sense of enlightenment. But this is the energy that is giving me though. It's trying to birth something beautiful. But it's the temperance, the attitude, the lack of patience, the lack of peace, tranquility, that's the problem. So you got Mother of Swords and you got the Son of Cups. Yes. Mother of Swords. Mother of Swords and the Son of Cups. Okay. I like that. Can you hear that? I'm sorry if you can hear me burp. Because these things be picking up everything. But I like that though. You hear me say learning over time. You hear me say softness, meekness. Bringing a sense of peace, understanding, clarity, honesty. That may be what you may be needing in those type of moments. So if you're looking for somebody to be peaceful, joyful, in those sense of spirits or whatever the case may be, or be this way with you, it's teaching you how to be it. So, all right. Boom. Adjustments are required. Girl, I was outside and the mosquitoes and got the best of me. Can you whip mine? Can I tell y'all something? Did you know when I heard this song, I thought she was saying, can you whip my P-U-S-S-Y? I don't know why that popped out of my head. I just had to get it out. Can you whip my... What's that? The Father wants. Ooh. Shit, this the Hangman. Oh, there's a lot of swords. Ooh. These are a lot of fucking swords. Jesus Christ. There we go. This girl is on fire. These are a lot of swords. Who are y'all talking to? What are y'all talking about so much in this quarantine? When I say I'm so annoyed, but I know it's coming back, I'm Gemini energy or whatever the case may be. I'm sick of talking. This is the max anybody will tell you I have ever talked in my life, even on videos, concepts. I am so fucking tired of talking. Now, that don't mean you gotta be talking, but I'm just saying, who is y'all talking to? Like, I'm tired of talking. You got the High Priestess, the Father of Wands, the Hanged One, and the Daughter of Swords. Yeah, this is about getting beyond those things. Like, you could be in the magic aspects. That's what it kind of gives me, though. You could be in the magic. Could be, though, like you hear me say, especially with this High Priestess, like you hear me say, needing to uncover some sense of truth, or getting beyond that physical realm, especially with that Father of Wands. So it could be a person that you hear me say, especially with this Father of Wands energy, like getting beyond in the sense of knownness. But it may be reckless how you going about it, though, because you got the Hangman and the Daughter of Cups. So you need to know what is it that you need to let go of in this moment. Like, you really do. Like, you got to know what to let go of. And it's like you're trying to uncover some sense of truth at the same time, but it's kind of like you need to know what needs to be sacrificed in the sense of a moment. Like, it's just hanging there. You hear me say needing to see in the dark. And it's kind of like you may see something as negative in this moment, where you hear me say, or black and white, and needing some burst of color. That's what it kind of gives me, though. Like, you need a burst of color. I'm just being honest. You need a burst of color. Because you got Wheel of Fortune, Two of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, and the Son of Pentacles. The Wheel of Fortune with this Two of Swords, or whatever the case may be, you hear me say adjustments are required, where you hear me say how you may be going about certain things, especially with communication. You can't make somebody, force them to see your sense of reality. This is the most weirdest shit, I'm telling you, that I had to recognize. No matter how right I felt in that type of moment, whether I was true, facts, focus, you still can't make somebody see what they don't want to see. Sometimes some people fall behind. Like, you still can't make them see this. And I learned this with Aquarius, though. Like, y'all should be prime examples when y'all giving out information to people. When y'all don't want to see it, you don't want to see it. So if you're doing this to somebody else, understand how in those moments, how you don't want to deal with those situations. Seven of Pentacles, and you got the Son of Pentacles. You hear me say, this is where you hear me say going back to this energy of being stubborn. It just gives me, like, you know, you see a deer in headlights, especially with the situation. This may how you may be going about it, like, look, see, look, or somebody may be doing this to you, especially when it comes to communicating matters. Like, that's what it kind of gives me, though. So that's why I say it's meticulous, it's detail oriented, time management, situations, restorations, it give me kind of like magic, though. When y'all into magic, like I'm saying, it kind of gets me into a sense of magic of how you may be going about certain things. That's what it kind of gives me, though. Like, one of y'all into magic, y'all are. I'm telling you, like, one of y'all into a sense of magic. It could be heavy magic or dark magic. You hear me say using something to uncover a sense of truth, but it's very reckless. How you may be moving with no impulse or a sense of remorse. And I don't think you know what you're trying to uncover in this type of moment, or what you're trying to get. So it's requiring some sort of a sense of a sacrifice. But if you're not into that, this is that good old earth magic. Boom. It takes its time when it comes into fruition. But it's the thing, you hear me say, if you're into magic, the things I like about earth magic is the time that I get to, it's like planting. I get to put in the time, the intentions of things that go over it when it comes to certain things that it is that I need. And it comes when I need it to come, not forceful. Because sometimes when it comes forceful and I'm not ready, I can fuck it up. So I can say that honestly, though. That's why I said adjustments are required. Adjustments are required. It is. To be able to get this sense of newness. It really does. Okay, so let's do a recap. You're very close to achieving your goals. What is it you're trying to achieve? And are you going to be happy with it? period. Are you going to be happy with it? Because the Eight of Pentacles reverse, where you hear me say being able to move forward, speaking of the things that it is that you need. What is it? Do you see it for what it is? Or is somebody able to see what it is that you want? That's why I said focused. But what are you focused on? A new start is coming. This is the Daughter of Wands. This is the Justice. This is the Eight of Cups. This is the Emperor versus the Empress. This is the Ten of Pentacles, where you hear me say the balancing of the masculine and feminine energy within ourselves or in the home, or the dynamic of the roles. Who is leading? Who is co-leading? Who is being prepared for those sense of positions? All right. Then you got your commitment is being tested. I said overall, this is the quarantine energy, where we're not recognizing how certain people, and the balancing of the egos, where you hear me say, where's the me versus you. That's what it kind of gives me, trying to enmeshment of the home front, where you are. We are all getting on each other's nerves. I just want to say that. Balance spirituality and practicality. I told you that this here 6 and 6 both reversed. That gives me 0. So it's kind of like it's not putting nothing into play. It's kind of like you tipping those scales over. You hear me say, when it comes to information or time or spirituality practices, understanding marriages, enlightenment, ideas, this is what knowing how to give and take on certain areas. This is a mutable sign, so it may be kind of hard for an Aquarius because you're a fixed sign. So you know what you want, you become fixated on it. So it's kind of like you will not let it go. So in those type of moments, this is knowing how to adjust to see, well, I want to go get ice cream. And you just like, well, no, why you want to get ice cream? I thought you said you was trying to lose weight. I'm trying to treat myself. And to you, it may seem stupid, but to me, it is what I need. So sometimes you got to recognize some things your partner, person, or situation in life may be dumb. It always ain't going to have no rational reason to it. Sometimes you just got to be like, because Aquarius energy is the humanitarian. So that cares about others and not always operating in the sense of self. Even though you feel you may know what's right for them. All right. So you got the energy is gaining momentum. That is the waxing moon, the beginning. You hear me say over time, this energy where you hear me say at this slow pace. Son of Cups, this is the metamorphosis of not knowing like how powerful those disagreements or situations, uncomfortableness, where you hear me say the coexisting, how it's meshing you into the Two of Pentacles energy. You hear me say what may not be beautiful to you may be beautiful to someone else. That's why you hear me say it's respect. Boundaries. Last but least, you got adjustments are acquired. You hear me say mutable signs. This is something that fixed signs really don't know how to do. This is Taurus, Scorpio, and Leo. No, ma'am. Do not know how to. Do not. Do not. Especially when you want what you want. High Priestess, Father Wands, Hang One, Daughter, Swords, the World. This is Two of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles. This is where you hear me say trying to uncover a sense of truth, trying to force someone to see a sense of your reality or situations. This is where you hear me say, what I say about the magic? Switching, understanding, knowing what needs to be released in this moment. What are you holding on to? What dark perspectives? What are you communicating on? What is it that you're so focused on? And what is the intention behind them? Okay? So if you don't remember shit out of this reading, I always got to say this when I end all these. You are very close to achieving a goal, but do somebody else know what you're achieving, especially if it's a partnership or a big business? A new start is coming. Is it a new start for you or is it for everybody? If it's something that you wanted, you got to recognize that everybody's not going to be happy for you, or especially if you don't tell them, especially if you're in this eclipse energy or this new moon thing where it's kind of like people can't see what you see. Your commitment is being tested, especially if you're on a home front where you hear me say areas that you struggled in. It's building. It's called building forward. If you're in a marriage, it's for better, for worse. So you hear me say if you're in a relationship or a partnership with other people, it's kind of seeing how you can strengthen these certain areas. Balance of spirituality and practicality. This is where most people, where you seeing tarot readings, or they get addicted to tarot readings, or they just get too active to where they rely on faith and don't do works, or magic aspects, or just technology, or just the informational aspect and not knowing how to step away from a certain system of information. The energy is gaining momentum, and I want to say if that's work too, or the environment. The energy is gaining momentum. Where you hear me say like focusing on what could you grow from in this type of moment. Adjustments are a requirement. You hear me say the mutable sign, knowing how to see that everybody doesn't think like you or act like you, and that is okay. Because y'all don't like being told what to do. I'm telling you, I had a friend that was an Aquarius, and this bitch was so hard-headed. And I used to get so mad, but after a while, I had to learn that she was going to do whatever she had to do because that was for her. But then when I didn't want to deal with it, I had to let her know that, look, this ain't working for me, shawty. I got to say something, or I'm risking this whole sense of a friendship because you are driving me nuts. So I had to say that. This is a time for healing and hold your vision. This is the fixed moon where you can become fixated. But you got the Baslamic moon, a time for healing before things come into a preparation. Like focus on what needs to be. Like take that focus that's so focused on the negative or trying to make somebody see your sense of reality and apply it to how you can do it in the humanitarian aspect. So boom, I knew somebody was going to take me over 30-some minutes. It was y'all. So other than that, Libra snakes.